I'm Ro Libretto. I'm a visual surrealist painter and I work in watercolor. I'm a traditionally trained watercolor painter and I paint what I see. I just see things that other people don't see. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm currently working in my studio in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Imagery appears to me in my daily routine. I'll be doing the laundry, walking from one room to another, and something will appear. And I try to capture what I see before it disappears. As I'm adding color to a painting, I can hear a voice explain the iconography to me. So it'll say things like, well, the blue finger here represents the character's connection with its higher self. The dove is representative of the higher self. And I've learned that over time from doing paintings for a long time. Autobiographically, I think that there are 3 paintings that are really important for me that I learned from. The first one is The Fool's Journey. And I think that that story is the story, I know that that story is the story of leaving home. And for me, it's representative of my journey from Brooklyn to New Mexico. The painting depicts the fool writing their own story, stepping out into the world to do things that haven't been done before. And then the painting that I call The Artist talks about the purpose of being an artist and the importance of shedding your meat suit so that you don't bring ego attachment into a piece of work that you make, but that you're able to express a need that's greater than yourself. And when I finished that painting, I recognized that I am not only the artist in that painting, but I'm every one of the evil little characters in that painting, and I'm also the good guys in that painting, so I get to be everybody. And when I recognize that, I realize that it's okay for me to be all those things. It's what made me who I am. I'm the bad guy and I'm the good guy. I mean, all of us are. And when we accept that, we become better people. It's really common for artists to get attached to the work that they do. And then, of course, if someone has something to say about it, it hurts. But I wanted to find a way to express the story in the painting without being emotionally attached to it. So the first time I did it, I made a watercolor and I painted over the watercolor and then I washed it and I thought, for sure, this is going to destroy the whole painting and that'll be the end of that. But when I looked at it after it was finished, the texture of it looked exactly like the images look when they appear to me. So I decided to develop that technique. And how I work now is I'll create a watercolor on paper or on wood. I'll cover the whole thing with brown tempera paint and then I wash it. And usually they last, usually they hold up. I figure if the story's worth telling, the painting will be there when I'm done. I grew up in a Catholic household. I went to Catholic school for 12 years. And we would get these little holy cards when we went to Mass. And the pictures on the front were icons of saints. And on the back were usually inspirational stories or prayers asking the saints to help us. The edges of those paintings had gold on them, like often the edges of old Bibles, they have the gold trim on them. And that gold that was on the edge of the holy card always bled off just a little bit into the front. The stories in my painting were inspiration and they were sacred. And I wanted to pay homage to that tradition of putting the gold trim on the stories that are sacred. I want people to have a better understanding of themselves. I want them to recognize the commonality in humanity. No matter what we call our gods or how we relate to our families or how we relate to ourselves in the world, there's many other people who are going through similar experiences. And I believe that the pictures that come to me try to express that with a little bit of a sense of humor to them. Now, the most recent painting that I finished, called The Red Book, and it's about how journaling gives us an opportunity to understand more about ourselves. We write down our passing thoughts and then look back, reflect on them, and see how they fit into our daily life. And usually it's a clue to a change that you have to make in your own life. And I think that that painting's important for me because recently turned 71. And I think it's telling me that there's another big change coming in my life.